over to Alabama, really no news is good news. You ain't heard nothing really coming out of Tuscaloosa. Look, we're going to bounce around. Baseball, football, NASCAR, it don't matter. Hockey, we're just going to bounce around because that's the way my brain operates. I can't just sit here and talk one thing without just, squirrel into another subject. But, yeah, with Alabama, it's basically just, no news, good news, because that means there's no injuries. But, they should be the number one team in the country next year, even replacing everybody they're replacing, because their recruiting is so dominant. And, when they get the number one class, it wasn't like just the number one class, when somebody else, it's the best class of all time. And I just think it's hard to compare that to anything we've ever seen at any level, at anywhere. So, that's what Alabama has. And I don't see them falling off in the West. I don't see them falling off in the country. They get Miami right out the gate, so we'll see pretty quick how good they are, because they're probably going to beat Miami by at least 20 points, I do believe, even with the quarterback change and replacing some of the guys. But I think Michi's going to be one of the best wide receivers in the country. I don't see why he's not, but I think you're pulling in NFL head coaches to come call plays at Alabama. That's insane. That's stuff you don't see anywhere else. They got NFL head coach coming in to coach offensive line. Nobody can pull stuff like that. And for Georgia, it was a big deal to get, a Will Muschamp type to come be a defensive analyst. That's a huge deal. Got the whole Muschamp family. Got his younger son at quarterback. Got his older son as an assistant analyst. So we got the whole Muschamp crew in there. Appreciate it, South Carolina, because they're still paying them $13 million. So that Georgia appreciates that. Yeah. So with Alabama, you can get these guys come in at coach at these positions. That's why they're playing at. It ain't just the coach. They get elite coaches to coach elite players. And like we say all the time, in the NFL, it's X's and O's. In college, it's Jimmys and Joes. And Alabama's always going to have the better Jimmys and Joes until somebody can prove them wrong, until somebody can, prove that, they have better – they just got better players. And it ain't, 11 on 11. It's they're 85 or better than anybody else is 85. And that's why they continue to win national championships and will. And, it may last, a couple years after Saban, but as long as Nick Saban's there. And right now it's not just football. Basketball, regular season, SEC champs, basketball tournament champs, SEC gymnastic champs. They're just killing it in all sports. Nate Oats said that Nate Oats, the basketball coach, said they don't want to be – it's not a football school, it's a championship school. And, of course, the fan base of other schools are going to roll your eyes at coaches that make comments like that. I mean, damn, if it ain't true. I mean, Alabama is winning state SEC championships at pretty rampant pace at more sports than normal softball team. Let's talk women's softball, like number 2 in the country. I mean, that's just insane how well they're doing at every sport that seems to be out there. And, I mean, it's, women's basketball, maybe not, but so far so good at all the other sports. I mean, for whatever reason, the athletic program, and it took a little while for everything else, obviously, to catch up to Saban, and ain't nothing going to be on his level. But what their basketball program is doing at the same time as their football program is pretty phenomenal. Believe they won today, so they're going to be in the Sweet 16. Auburn had that run a couple of years ago into the Final Four, the double dribble game with Virginia. But dang, football program wasn't hitting on much. They lost. Malzahn was there. Look, you can just take any year at Auburn when Malzahn was there and just say they lost 4 games. And you'll be right 99% of the time. 2017, they won the West, lost 4 games.